All right, this is the last of the containers, or the second load. 3 there, the other 2, so a total of 5, and then the 10 drums. I got the lid unlatched here. You can see these are all the bolt-on type lid. And they say ink, so I'm like, we'll see what it is. That looks like what was ink. Oh, wow. Maybe I don't want that lid off. Whoa. Whoa. That has got a odor to it. Wow. Oh, I'm going to be happy for the rest of the day. Wow. Whatever is in that stuff. Whee! It's got happy juice. um, now that I'm getting a little bit more level-headed now, um, I can kind of go up around the corner here. You can see my little storage spot for these things. So anyway, some of these are cleaner than others. Some of them it's just got the sunflower oil, and it's just got a little bit of sunflower oil on the outside of the tank, because they say sunflower on them. Though I kind of scratch my head as to why it's sunflower oil, but there's rust like that, because sunflower oil generally doesn't make things rust. It usually keeps things from rusting. So these will be to the 1 or 2 fairgrounds that I need to take them to, so that the vendors can have their employees at the end of the fair or the end of the event. And if the oil is hot, it can go in the container, and it's steel, so there's no risk of a ruptured plastic container, because they're handling deep fry oil that's, well, usually they operate at about 350 degrees, and you got to be south of 160 degrees before you can really safely put it into a plastic container. Even these containers that are inside a cage to help hold the steel together, or hold the plastic together, when you get up 300 degrees, it can still make the plastic rupture and blow out. So you don't put oil in them that hot. You just don't do it. So the other thing is I can have my suction line into one of these containers, and if I have the little 4.5 gallon, they're 35 pounds of cooking oil. They're what the cooking oil comes from the store, in the little cubey things with the cardboard around the outside. And I can dump that into one of these drums, and I can have my suction line to my pump, which is basically, for lack of a better definition, it's a small gas engine with a wood splitter hydraulic pump on it. So that's not really rocket science. I just know that I've burned up a couple of different electric motors trying to run electric motors to move cooking oil, and cooking oil is very hard on electric motors. If it don't, they have to be quite powerful to handle the cooking oil and not destroy themselves. So I'll sort through these. Um, some of them will be storage for cooking oil. Some of them will be for fire prevention, having water staged around the farm. I'll probably pick out the dirtiest one, and it'll become a waste petroleum waste petroleum catch basin for me to put any hydraulic oil, engine oil, transmission fluid, any petroleum product. So then I'm not mixing petroleum products in with my vegetable oil. I'm keeping that separate. So then the only possibility of having petroleum mixed in with the vegetable oil is if it happens at the fairgrounds and I'm not aware of it, because if they have a bulk tank, I have 2 different fairgrounds where they have a bulk tank, and they could have people. That is another clarification I want to make, is the fairgrounds has tanks that, they're labeled as if they're owned by the business that would take the oil, but the fairgrounds actually purchased those tanks from the company to have on fairgrounds property, and then it becomes the fairgrounds' choice as to who gets to take the oil out of those tanks, not the collection business that collects the oil, because those tanks are fairgrounds property, and they are not in a contract with an oil pickup business to pick up the oil. So at least that's how they explained it to me at a couple of different fairgrounds. So all I can do is go by what they say. So, and I've not had anybody complain about me taking a waste product away so that a fairgrounds doesn't have to pay to get rid of it. So there's that little detail too, because there's a lot of places that they make them pay hazmat to haul off. Yeah, they make them pay hazmat by the pound to haul off waste vegetable oil by one of the local trash service companies. So the more you know, I guess. Anyway, I got a total of 15 of these IBCs, and I got 10 of these very fragrant. I didn't realize they would be that fragrant, but you stop and think about it. They make those little tiny printer cartridges, and there's a fraction of an ounce of ink in every one of those printer cartridges. And you're standing here and you're looking at 10 different drums, and you think about a fraction of an ounce per printer cartridge, and there's 10 drums here at 55-gallon drums a piece, and they're selling those ink cartridges for, well, I don't know, $35, $45, $55. That is a lot of money in ink cartridges. A lot of money. 10 10 times 50, you know, that's 500 gallons. 100, 200, 300, 400. Yeah, that's over 500 gallons. That would be over 500 gallons of printer ink. And I have a hard time wrapping my head around 500 gallons of printer ink that sells less than 1 ounce per printer cartridge for around $50 a piece. You know, I think I'm in the wrong line of business, because that is some serious profit or overhead, or however you want to look at that. That's making my head hurt. I need to think about something else. Anyway, I'm gonna pack these things up there. I was thinking I can get 4 into the bucket over there. I don't know if I'm gonna get 4 in the bucket. I'll get at least 3 in the bucket, and we'll go from there. So, until next time, thanks for watching. Bye.